Hey everybody, welcome to another weekly vlog. I decided to give last week's vlog a miss because I just didn't have a lot to say. And the things I would have said would have been about personal problems, and I didn't have the best attitude, so I decided to take care of my personal problems, be happy, and make a more substantial vlog this week. Anyways, the substantial things I have to talk about are about the future of the channel, potentially putting out a poll about games that you can suggest to me to play if you guys want to make suggestions, or maybe playing video games along a certain theme. Like, I was thinking about either having like a samurai theme, or a knight theme, or a Vikings theme, or a Cthulhu theme, or going back to the XCOM series of games. Or did I say the Viking? Yeah, Viking, Knights, Samurai, Viking, Cthulhu, XCOM, or games that my mother beats. Which, the surprisingly difficult games that my mother beats, like Crystallis, or Section Z, or Mylon's Secret Castle. If you'd like me to see me play games and lose to games that my mother beats, I'd be willing to do that. So anyways, because I'm just surprised. Whenever my mother, she got into games, like, she was really into games at one point in her life, and then she decided to stop. But when she did, she was really into games, and she had fun, and she was good at it. It was impressive. She played those games so much that she got impressively good at them. It's like, when someone puts their mind to something, like my mother, they can achieve amazing things. It shows you that anyone, when they put their mind to something, can become rather good at whatever they want to do. So, and also like Dragon Warrior. Whenever my mother played Dragon Warrior, she called her character Mr. Squid. It was the epic adventure of Mr. Squid, which I found to be funny. We both found that to be entertaining. Anyways, so yeah, there's like various themes that I could play. I could play all the games of a particular theme if you'd like me to see me play a game along the lines of a theme: Knights, Samurai, Cthulhu, XCOM, so-and-so. And I can put those in a poll, and you guys can take a poll and choose the set of video games like based on that, or just suggest a game in the comments as usual, and I will play one of those games. Or what I was thinking was, well, honestly, I've been having some financial issues, and I was thinking of adding a support button on the YouTube page, so that if some of you have some extra money and you want to send it my way, that would be really, really appreciated, because some of the reasons I was having problems making a vlog last week were due to financial problems, among other issues. And yeah, I earn money from this channel, but not enough to get by and pay all the bills, so I have to do things on the side. So yeah, if you have extra money, I'm not, gonna beg or anything. I think Ultima 9 had me pegged pretty well as someone who values honor more than any of the other virtues, because Ultima 9 is a game that is very thoughtful. It's a very thoughtful RPG that has inspired a lot of consideration, more than other RPGs, I would say, just because of all its virtues, the idea of its virtues and whatnot. That's of the 8 virtues, because every religion puts forward things that they consider good or evil, but so, you could just as easily have 8 other virtues. But of the 8 virtues they put forward, I think I value honor the most out of any of them. Whenever I did not make my vlog last week, it bothered me a lot. I haven't always been a man of my word, but whenever I'm not a man of my word, it bothers me a significant amount more than it should. Maybe, perhaps, I sometimes think. So maybe they had pegged me right as a person of honor, and yeah, I think that's fair enough. I mean, I do like honesty or compassion. I'm not sure about sacrifice. I would have some difficulty with that one. I think maybe I could do it, but maybe I'm not the best person to dive on a grenade or whatever to save the squad. I might be more likely to dive away from a grenade rather than on a grenade. See, that's the thing. It depends on what I'm sacrificing my life for. Who am I sacrificing my life for? And what am I sacrificing my life to? Because if everyone can potentially survive without my help, then maybe I won't make the sacrifice. But let's say that a bunch of people are guaranteed to die unless I make my personal sacrifice. I think in a thoughtful, non-quick reaction situation, I could make the Spock-like decision of saying that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, and I guess I could sacrifice myself for a larger amount of people who actually are not, like, maybe about to die. Like, let's say it was a bunch of elderly people who were on their deathbeds. I would be like, well, I don't know, because what am I sacrificing myself for? But let's say it was a bunch of children who had their futures ahead of them. There was more of them than me, and all I need to do is painlessly, yeah, whatever, sacrifice myself. You know, I think after much, if I had time to psych myself up, I could do it. But yeah, no, sacrifice is not my strongest suit, clearly. But anyways, but I think I think I value all the virtues. It's such a thought-provoking game, that's my point. And then they introduced the 8 anti-virtues, which is what really made me think that, you know, yeah, you could just as easily have 8 other virtues in place of those virtues, and every single religion tries to define what is good, and that's the problem with defining what is good is that you have to define what is evil. So, you know, I'm not saying that the 8 virtues are perfect, and it's not something you want to live your life by, but I think Lord British did a fairly good job of deciding things that are fairly universally good, and it's interesting, so yeah, and of those 8 things he put forward, I think I value honor the most. But I'm getting sidetracked again. If there is a AAA title, because I can't afford AAA titles these days, that you would like to see me play, and you would like to buy that game for me, well, I'm going to create a Patreon page of basically AAA titles I'm thinking of. First, I'm going to do the YouTube thing, but I think like next week I'm going to look into doing a Patreon page with AAA titles that I would like to play that I just can't afford to play. And if you would like to buy me a copy, I will show my appreciation by saying thank you, maybe putting your name at the end of the episodes, or I'll work something out. That is, if you choose to not be anonymous, because I definitely respect the anonymous donor, even maybe more so than people that choose not to be anonymous, because you are literally giving your donation for no recognition whatsoever. So yeah, maybe even more so I respect the anonymous donor. And so anyways, but I think I would try to respect you guys equally, I guess, but I would want to respect well, maybe I do respect the anonymous donor more, but in any case, both are very respectable, and in my eyes, that if you would want to give me a further incentive beyond buying a AAA title for me, like giving me a certain amount of money per episode, I will be more inclined to move the game up the queue of games I'm thinking of playing and play that game more often and maybe complete the game more quickly because, well, like I said, I could use the money, and so a financial incentive is a strong incentive at this point in my life. Although I'm not sure, like I said, I'd be making a list of games I'd be willing to play that I want to play, that you could just facilitate me playing so that we're both happy. In terms of playing something that I do not want to play for money, that's a whole different can of worms, a whole different beast. It's a intriguing proposition. I mean, at a certain amount of money, I, again, would be highly incentivized to play just about anything, because how bad could it be? I ask myself, how bad of a game is there? The Barbie's ultimate something cuteness pony disaster of a game. If there's a large enough financial incentive, I guess. Not something that I'm going out of the way to make happen, but, because is that a win-win? I guess. But, yes, so ultimately the Patreon idea would be facilitating games that I would not be able to play, for financial reasons. If you would want to make that happen, I would show my appreciation of your help by just putting your name in at the end of the episode, or maybe saying your name, or both, or depending on the level of money you would like to spend, I'll work out a system. I haven't figured it out yet, but I would like to set aside my pride and receive the assistance that I need, honestly. And, yeah, I'll make after I do this video, I'm going to read the fine print on the agreement because I like to read all the fine print with these things to get the support button. But I'm going to get that support button up. I don't think that there's going to be anything bad in there. I can't imagine. I'm going to do the Patreon hopefully next week if everything goes on schedule. And I would like to take suggestions for various games that I'm playing. And one other thing I have to talk about is that kept me from posting this in a timely fashion today. Like, I wanted this to be a Friday vlog, and it's actually a Saturday vlog, but I got dehydrated yesterday. I drank coffee. I started drinking coffee recently instead of water. Well, or I started drinking coffee, and I drank it yesterday instead of water, and I ended up drinking less coffee than I would drink water, or normally would drink water, and I don't know, I just didn't end up feeling as thirsty as I should have been. And then I went out and I did, we ended up doing archery. I did archery with my cousins because they were visiting, and they wanted to go to the archery range, and I thought archery would be fun, and it was fun, but I ended up feeling kind of cold, even though it was a hot summer day, and slightly numb and faint, because I didn't stay hydrated, and my body just didn't tell me it was thirsty. And I was so focused on everything that we were doing, I just didn't think about it, and I didn't bring any water with me, so, in any case, I ended up having to spend a lot of today recovering from the dehydration that I got yesterday, and I'm making sure to stay hydrated from now on. But basically, I learned a serious lesson about staying hydrated. It's a problem I've had before, and I'm kind of embarrassed about it. But it's something that a lot of people have, and sometimes it's fatal. Summer is hot, you end up sweating a lot, drink some water, and bring a water bottle with you when you're going out. I recommend that. You know, sunscreen, shade, the whole bit. But anyways, yeah, it sapped my energy. I'm still feeling kind of like 75, maybe 80% of my 100% like energy levels, because we ended up getting a lot of exercise yesterday as well, so that also added to things. But I ended up having to we ended up having to go get water. I ended up cutting the archery session short, and we ended up having to go for water because I was nearly passing out and just feeling terribly nauseous and lightheaded and stupidly stupefied. Like my mental processes weren't as nearly as, you know, acute as they should have been. But I was feeling stupidly happy, which is kind of strange. I was, you know, because it's lightheaded. That kind of lightheaded feeling can make you feel kind of happy, unjustifiably happy. It's as happy as I've ever been when feeling nauseous, because I don't like to feel nauseous. It's my least favorite feeling of bodily feelings. But in any case, yeah, we ended up getting water, cutting the archery session short, getting water. I ended up sitting in the shade a bit more and doing a little bit less archery. We came back, did more archery with water bottles alongside us, but I ended up sitting in the shade and doing a little bit less archery and a little bit more recovering. And then I did a little bit of archery, but I ended up being rather fatigued today. Tiegon is fatigued, and I ended up resting, and I'm still not 100% right now, but I got a very strong lesson once again in staying hydrated. And I feel like somehow my body maybe isn't the best at always reminding me that I'm thirsty. I don't know. I mean, different strokes for different folks, but I feel like maybe that might be a problem I have. Or maybe it was just because I was drinking coffee. I don't know. It's just, yeah, so stay hydrated. Think about donating. Tell me what games I should play. Stay happy. Don't sweat the small stuff. Anyways, that's everything I have to talk about for this week's vlog. I hope that you found something enjoyable in there, and that you will join me next time. I'll see you then.